it's different to,
So
just
so what going on for you now? You as far as music, what you got in the works?
why I retire. I change my towel. No man, no man. Listen, I mean, me just talk all the time. Is different things running through my head. There's a lot of different aspects of music that we could do. You could be a player, you could be an engineer, you could be a producer, you could be a arranger, you could be a manager, different things. So right now, with all of this pandemic and so in the year, it kind of changing a lot of things because my focus was kind of in one direction. And based on all of this now, I might gotta shift up things a little bit because, for instance, like, let's say I was planning to bring out the next band right now. I got to wonder now why that makes sense because I don't know how long this pandemic gonna go on. And if when it finished, they might say, yo, your dance could only have 50 people here.
Mm-hmm.
That might not be the way to go.
Yeah.
And then I still got to look at, if I'm doing a production, how you gonna get the production done? Yeah, I got stuff here, I could do my production, but then you can't go in nobody's studio right now. So I ain't finished. And the retirement thing was just a joke. When I retire is when I come to sing Abide With Me. And that ain't happening. That ain't happening right now. So I guess it just left to be seen what direction are gonna go in after all of this world events die down. But I think it's a positive one. I mean, I got my little things I'm in the pipeline working on. I sent you a little sample or something the other day, which that kind of like in the works. But music, like I tell people, is one of them things that the final product, people stoops and be like, oh, they just did that in a week and not realizing the amount of months or even years. Listen, I got a track there working on. It's finished now. Actually finished it maybe like last month. And that file was created in 2011.
Wow.
You understand?
Yeah.
So this just to show you. So the final product, 3 minutes, 3.5, and everybody went, they realize how much time it has got to put into a 3-minute song. That track I sent you the other day that I'm working on right now. Take me a little while, but it's like sometimes I get in here and I'm in this room here for like 5-6 hours just working on that alone.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I just hear the family like, you're soon finished. But no man, I got things in the pipeline. It's just left to be seen how this world can transform for me to know exactly what's next.
One thing I know if you want to mention whatever, but you do a great job engineering for Small Axe. How I made that connection?
Why, the connection there is pretty much something that I put out on the table for any one of the Kittitian acts that's coming out here. What I basically did from the time I get out here was I let everybody know, listen, are you out here? I could be your eyes and ears and the gong. Link me. Mm-hmm. Now, some people take it that, Steba just want a free to come in the dance. And some people say, well, he there? Well, let me take advantage of him. Small Axe take advantage. And it so happened, based on what they're doing, and Sucky being there, me and Sucky have a relationship already. It was easy. Me and Mr. Wall, good. Although, we used to go with it. Me and Mr. Wall, good. Mm-hmm. So that was easy. Now, I think they wanted me to play too. But at one point, I was like, but I ain't gonna look good with me and Sucky up there. So, pam, Which and Kelly was tight and everything. Pam deal with that. So I now take the helm of engineering. You know, so I just try everything to get a man sound decent.
I was telling when Sucky was on, I was telling Sucky about the night you come in and you look, you say, Sid, what you got? And I show you and you say, all right, 10, 15 minutes band good to go, session spoiled.
But you see, I tell you, a lot of what I just do is based on my experience from all these years. And the most important thing is understanding the differences between analog and digital. Now, a lot of these guys who does mix now, well, not those that well experienced, but a lot of these guys who does mix now, who just coming in with digital gear and all of that. Sometimes little things could be fixed if they had the knowledge of analog. And then not only that, I had to go through things with systems that was just, you can't believe. I mean, especially back to the early days when we used to be with Elvis. Elvis literally had a monitor board. I didn't know what it was at the time. He had a monitor board with like 12 plus cents. So I learned to set up whereby you could get vocals coming out of the speaker, this coming out of this speaker, this coming from that, right? Because of the sense, I didn't know. So things like that now, some of them guys who mix it now won't understand. You know, you hearing a hum. Just, you know, some of them guys, because they're familiar with how these things rumble up, they'll be thinking, by the hum coming from a bass, the hum coming, it could be a gong loop. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of little different things. And one of the things then with me, as an engineer, I like to get my sound at least within the first hour, as you said, if so much at all. You know, depending on how long you set me, but let's say within a half an hour. You're supposed to be able, I just prioritize my mix. So I know this is what I want loud, this is what I want soft, this is what I want here, this is what I want there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I just tell some people sometimes, yo, you're the bass man, play your bass. I ain't gonna come up here and tell you, don't play your bass string. So if you're up there on the bass, you know me, I don't complain with people about the monitor.
Yeah.
If you want your monitor loud, that's on you, because that's where you're listening. But what I listening out here, I gonna try to make it the best of my ability. And that's why I do it with that man. Look, even that gig we had the time up there, 241st, when we had this big hum, every time we plug in something, we woo.
Yeah.
That come from experience.
That was genius. And I'll never forget that night there, because we check everything, and I don't know how you thought of that.
Why, that was just, but again, that come from the experience of being in that environment. Because I remember one time, way back in the day, early 90s, we had to play on government headquarters one night. And we had a similar situation like that. This noise coming, you can't figure where it's coming from. And then we check, we was plugged up in two different areas. Somebody had the gong on this side, somebody had the gong looping.
Yep.
So, but
wicked.
No, when is your greatest moment, where you had your best time, like you're in your prime, like, you know, like what's your favorite song, what you really dig into, you know what I mean, and stuff like that?
Okay, one of my best performances, I would say, would be the first Sinkis Music Festival. That thing was one of my best. Why? Because that was the first time I actually was in that kind of setting where you got big stage, lot of lighting, you know, you're up on a stage like what, 6-8 feet high, you know, it gave me the feeling like, yeah, this is the launch pad. Because prior to that, it was all our system, our little band system here and there. It wasn't nothing like that. This was like like you're watching them concerts on MTV and them kind of thing. You know? That we say the first Sinkers Music Festival. As a matter of fact, Nu Vybes were the first act ever on the Sinkers Music Festival. So when the festival started in 95 or 96, the first band that played on the Sinkers Music Festival was Nu Vybes. I was a part of that.
Nice.
Favorite song? But I'll tell you, one of my best ones is Good to Go. That's one of my best ones. A lot of people just kind of, the album there, they kind of get some licks, eh? The album there was a catch-up album. Because that year, with the album, boy, the Creep Up was giving us some licks, boy. But yeah, but Creep Up, ping, 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 dance, spread out. But yeah. So we were really scrabbling because we know Smarlax had a head start, ways head start. We had vitamin S for it, but Bangalang ended up kind of call upon it, but it still wasn't enough for Creep Up. But that same year I had on Good to Go. That was one of me. That's one of my favorites.
Nice.
On the whole album. But for our music, I've got to break them down into categories and do like, okay, a fast and a slow. You know? One of my favorite slow goes would be tempo.
Yeah.
I kind of like how I did tempo. Especially when I
producer Kwame, he just said, "Don't stop the tempo."
yeah, that was one, and I prefer how we did it the second time. The first time I did it, you know, it was alright, but the second time I put a little bit more work into it.
Nice. Yeah, man. Yo, so I gotta check my email because I know we got a couple of tracks to take care of, so I gotta check my email. Yeah.
But yeah, man. Sid Boy, what you're doing here is tremendous. Is why I think this is something that a lot of people been looking for a long time. Then you could just got musicians come on here and just talk about the beginnings and where they at and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, man. I appreciate it. And like you said, me and you to talk all the time. So
yeah,
I know what you're saying is genuine, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, just listening to Soki and Kelly and them and him Jones, Daddy Jones, you know, and I'm sure just by doing that you're gonna start getting a lot of other requests now for some bigger names, you know what I'm saying?
Well, we are a big name right now, so.
Yeah, well, that sounds good. I definitely, you know, I always tune it in, you know, and I mean.
Let me ask you this then. I want to get your opinion on this last question. Why, and I asked Soki, I asked Jones, why in the small island music industry, we don't have a physical place or a database to show the type of work, man like you, man like Soki, man like Ras Kelly, Bogna Wall, like some type of information that younger people could see and understand, you know, what it took to get to certain places and the type of music they're listening to, how that came about.
Respect. I think it's just bottom line respect. A lot of people within the islands, they don't respect musicians until it's carnival time. So to me, in their light is like, why we should honor them, man, when they're only coming up for 1 week out of the year. You know?
Because they don't understand that week is a full year, really.
Yeah. But not realizing the impact that we have. And this is why I say, like, forums like this, if the powers that be listening, they might even start to realize the amount of work, the amount of effort that got into doing these productions. Because like I tell you, a 3-minute song, man might think you're sitting there for 5 minutes. not realizing the amount of work you had to put into it.
Exactly.
You know, and I totally agree too, because there's a lot of people that in St. Kitts too that has been in music that some people ain't even know used to be in music. And I'm gonna give you an example. When my father used to have, when they used to have O-tones, they had this man used to drum, Nogo, we call him. And I guess over the years, you know, Nogo went through his life struggles and what's that and so on. So he used to come across to people as one of them disgusting kind of people.
Mm-hmm.
And one day, he came in the band house. Afi wasn't there. Afi, one boot used to drum with us. And Noga was on the drums. And Afi come in, yo, get up off them drums, Not knowing the status that this man used to have. Says after somebody explained to Afi, you know, boy, this is so. He was like, what? Why play?
Yeah.
You check? Yeah. So it's things like that would help for especially after these young men who coming up to see who all was top.
Of course.
Because I sure a lot of them man might not know my father. But I sure if he go on a couple of them man, they might be, oh, you don't know what she said. What you know about this? What you know about this? You know? But if like I said, the man had a database now where they could look and they could say, wow. You know? And then not only that too, what I think that would do good too is to also see the places that Kittitian musicians has been.
Yes.
In terms of, when I said it has been, I mean in terms of bands that they play with. Because look like Jam Band. Jam Band was a big band.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, big band in the time. Mm-hmm. And it had several Kittitians who were big members in Jam Band.
Yes.
If you used to play Jam Band, you got the fellow Steve used to play trombone, the other one play trumpet, you know. Spanish used to be with us, used to play Jam Band.
Exactly.
You check? Exactly. So things like these, you know, man could start with. Now look yesterday when Daddy Jones was talking about VI. You know Sean from St. Kitts.
Yeah, well, I was just going to tell you, Sean mentioned earlier in the conversation that Jam Band style is from O-tones. Like they adapted the O-tone style and that's what they used.
Right. Yeah, Sean from St. Kitts, Sean and Bogle and all them and his family. So it's things like that now, you know, somebody could look at something and say, oh, yo, this man, you know, Imagine. The main man for Imagine is them times is Bingo Bodo.
Exactly.
You check? So all of these things now, like you're right. If we got a place, people could go in and see, well, oh, wow.
I want to share another picture.
Oh, Lord. That's line them up. Let's line them up cassette.
Cassette.
Line them up cassette.
Oh man.
But yeah, so it's all of these, you know. It would help down them lines, you know.
Yep.
As opposed to waiting until when a man expire to go and say, oh, he used to do this and he used to do that, you know.
Yeah. Listen, Steba, one of the saddest things, and I hate to mention something so sad, but I think it deserves to be said. George passed away recently. And George, as far as I understand, George had something to do with the St. Kitts national anthem. He'd have written it or he was part of the writing team or whatever.
Wait a second, he had something to do with it?
Well, I ain't Kittitian, but I understand that he had some role, you know?
Well, he had something, he did it.
There you go.
He produced it, he wrote it, he did everything for the anthem.
There you go. And I don't remember seeing anything of substance that, you know, show love to him as far as him passing away. Them thing is
exactly.
ridiculous.
Exactly. And then look at him, look at Georges. Georges was one of the big man for Arrow.
Yep.
You know, when Arrow used to do hitting, Georges was one the big man for Arrow.
Help arrange. Yep.
You know, you check. I mean, I was a man would tell you he ain't going nowhere without Georges.
There you go.
You check. So why all of these things, and you know, we got people who like Gary Knight and them man who is top musicians who been all over the place. You got man like Bruce Kevit and them man who's still around. Del, you know, and let me tell you, Del, you remember Del? Del used to play everything, and Del too. I will got to, you know, give a shout out to Del too, because Del is one too who keep me on course as well. You check, because like back in them days too, you know, when we Toucan, which Del used to be a part of, they used to play for the Queen shows a lot. And when you hear them man shut down a ballad, them man sound like the record, you know. So we get into the mix and we started playing for some of them Queen shows after Toucan kind of fall off. And I knew we had to come with a certain standard. So what I used to do when them people come with the songs for us that we can back them up with, I used to take them to Del to write up the music. And when I give to Del, I can't leave Del house until I play it. You know, and this time I start to get into ballads where you're playing a C and you're holding a B-flat bass and all them kind of thing. You know? But enough respect to Del, same too, but you know, it's people like them, man, because if they'll go home now and some of them man see Del, them man gonna be like, but who you be by?
Who is that?
You know, not knowing, and Del been around. Del don't play for all kind of people.
You know? Yeah, man, Steba, but yo, it was awesome talking to you, man. I appreciate the love, and you know, with me, you could call me whatever you need. You don't know. We on that level.
Well,
so.
I don't need telling anybody call you if they need anything. So you jump out just now. But I was saying, I hear you telling everybody call them if they need anything. So I can just send you my bill.
Sugar cake.
Good thing that bill gotta take a long drive up.
Why? I know you will be snowing up there by you, eh? But yeah, man, I mean, anytime I like this forum, you know, when you're going these stuff, I always tune in, you know. You nearly make me get fired the other day because I did me Chuck was watching one of them things there before I go do something the people work. But yeah, man, no man, I like this here. I like what you're doing. And I like how you're branching it out and getting other people involved. As opposed to just a sink is Nevis kind of thing, you know. And you know, no respect to all the man who been on there. And
you got a lot of people here showing you love, brother. So say hello and bye at the same, you know, whatever you need.
Well, listen, I mean, when you tell me that we got to do over this thing, I was like, why do over this? Why? But then I started getting pressure like you. Because people started messaging me, where this thing be? Boy, I full of joke. Man want to see it. Man want this. Man want that. Bro. So I was like, you know what? If we can do it over, hey, no problem. We could do it again. You know, I could talk about this thing from...
You know Caxman?
Yeah, from Nevis. He on there too?
I sing Calypso.
Oh, that Coxman. Okay. Not talk about the other part of mine. Yeah, no, Coxman. But he on there too?
I think he child.
Okay. Well, everybody big now, you know. But yeah, and, you know, no respect to man like Soapy. Remember Soapy, the one bang me up one time when Sugar Band come up here. Because he said he guitar pedal or something went missing. And thought it's we. All this time I show Soapy when we had it in the bag, you know. Soapy, what happened?
You remember them things?
But that is how me and Soapy get... That's how me and Soapy get good. You know. But yeah, man. So anytime, man. Anytime you want to do this thing, I hear. And like I tell you already, you know, we got to advertise. I can interview you. Soapy, we can work on that, Soapy.
Yeah. Because you come tight now.
Because a lot of people will see big sexy, Sid and the and they know who he be. So we gonna call it the reveal.
me ain't got no history like I can't compare, brother. I only understand the history. I am part of the history.
That's what you think. But hey, listen, Sid, let me tell you. I gotta tell you, boy, I'm impressed with your knowledge and your history of the band name, because when I hear you talking to Daddy Jones yesterday and I hear you calling this band name and this, I'm like, yo, this man about all these things, yo.
Why? Like, I didn't even know what to call myself. But I say as a historian of the game, I know every little band that ever exists. If you last longer than 2-3 months, I pick up something about you. You know what I mean?
That's what I would say, boy, I can't believe you know all them stuff they put you from some of them older bands. You look like somebody telling Daddy Jones, look like he would say this. What is man about that, boy?
The first time I tell him that I knew that he was part of generation and he was the youngest man. The man shocked. He couldn't believe it.
Yeah, we didn't even know about that band here, to be honest.
Yeah, man. But Steba, love alone, brother. Respect, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Cool.
Take it easy.
Big up.
Respect.